Now I want to explain what was happening yesterday. When the blank was slipping on the mandrel, it was driving the nut back this way as far as it would go on the threads. And of course by doing that, it was pulling the mandrel out of the Morris taper thing here. Now I had tightened this nut as tight as I dared. I was afraid I was either going to turn the corners off the Allen key or strip the threads inside there. I mean, it was really, really tight, but it was still doing it. So I'm going to sort of try and demonstrate here what was happening. I'll just slow everything right down, just show you what was happening, because as well as myself noticing it happening at least 3 times, so did some of the other viewers. So anyway, watch this. Okay, I've loosened this nut just a little bit here because I'm going to try and stop it with my fingers. And if I can't stop it, then you're not going to be able to see what I'm talking about. So here we go. Okay, we'll slow it down a little because I don't want to burn my fingers. Okay, we're doing about 160 RPM there. Let's see if this will work. Well, obviously I can't grab it with my fingers. I just can't squeeze that tight. So let's try this. Okay, that's what was happening. Well, for obvious reasons, I didn't want to grab the blank with the pliers, so I did the next best thing and I just stopped the nut, which is exactly what was happening yesterday. I dry sanded right up to and including 400 grit. Now I'm going to wet sand 600 right through to 12,000. Okay, I'm turning just under 800 RPM here. I find that that's a good speed to not throw water all over the place. And needless to say, I don't need the dust collection system. Now what you did not see is that after I turned the lathe off, I took that same sandpaper and I went lengthways on the blank. Now I can actually feel that warming up. So that tells me that there is a cutting agent in that polish. Well now, I've never had that happen before either. What is going on there? Can't make the pen if I can't get this out. Okay, I did get it. When I could bring it a little closer to me and pull on it a little harder, it did come out. But wow! Is this thing tapered the wrong way or something? I don't know. I've never had that happen before. Ever. Well, let's see how this one goes. Well, that's going good. Now this one I'm going to try and turn a little bit different. Normally I use the scraper. What happens is scraper seems to be catching on the corner, and instead of chipping the corner off or cutting it off, it's catching, and it almost feels like it's gluing to the end of the scraper, because when I try to pull it out there's sort of almost like it's stuck in there. Well, you'd have to be able to feel it to know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to try something a little different here. Okay, you can see the corner there of the blank. Now what if, instead of using the scraper, I was to use the roughing gouge? And then, hopefully, as the blank turns, it will sort of slice it off, like that. Try another one. That might work better. Now I sanded the blue one down exactly the same way as I did the pink. I started out with 220 and then 400 dry, and then 600 through 12,000 wet. Well, let's see if I have bushing problems here with this one. Oh, that one came off good. Oh, here again. Oh, it came off. It was a little tight though. Well, let's press the pens together. Now, before we actually start pressing, I got curious as to why that bushing was, catching inside the brass tube. And I don't know if you can see it, but right there, it's almost like there was a little, a little groove there. Like it's right there. And I think what was happening, in fact I know what was happening, is that the brass tube was crimping around into this groove. And isn't that strange? Now it's really funny here. No matter how carefully I plan, there's always some silly little thing that I have to do, like round over these sharp edges. By the way, I'm going to try and put on the macro lens and see if I can get some really nice close-ups when I press everything together here. I'm going to see if I can get the clip to cover the part where it's the most clear, like where you can see through the most. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because that gold does kind of look nice. Now this one here, I don't know where the clip should be positioned. I'd like to have this end exposed because it's the most interesting. At least I think that's interesting. So let's just see what we can do here. Maybe something like that would be nice. Well, that's going to be it. Now the manufacturer supplied these cartridges, or refills rather, with this kit. And what I'm going to do though is I'm going to upgrade, and I'm going to put in what's known as an easy flow cartridge. I keep calling it a cartridge, it's a refill. Anyway, they write like a fountain pen without all the mess. They're really nice. They're quite a bit more expensive, but that's what we're going to do here. Okay, so we're going to have to take the spring off of here and put it on this one, and then this should go in here like so, and then this will go on here. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work okay. And then, which one do we do first? The blue one or the pink one? There, doesn't matter. We'll do the pink one first because we've been doing the pink one first and all the way along here. So this should just push on like this. Now will it work? Okay, now we'll do the blue one. And where's the other part? Oh yeah. Okay. And now the his. For the his and hers. And I'll include these standard cartridges, or refills rather. I'll get it right yet. Now these pens are going to be going up for a draw. 99% of the viewers that are watching this right now are unfortunately not eligible. So it's only for some people that live here in Winnipeg. Some lucky people. Anyway, I guess we better test these out. Now some of you are probably saying, hey, wait a minute, Ron, you wrote test down 4 times already on that piece of paper. You've already tried those out. Well, that was from the previous pen series, the Ebony series. Watch the end of it and you'll see that piece of paper.